Well, hello you. Let's talk about harmonic minor scales, shall we? So you've done the natural minors, you've done the melodic minors, or maybe, again, you've got a student who you think the harmonics are going to work better for first, so you're here for that. In which case, you haven't done the melodics. So you're going to go back and watch that video, right? Right? Yeah, do it. And you've got the secondary reds under control. So here you are, melodic minor, you've figured out all the extension patterns, you've introduced those to your student in some way, shape, or form, perhaps using the exercises in Fingerboard Geography. Good plan. Yeah, that works. Here's where the harmonics are going to be a little weird. We're not going to start with the open strings. We're actually going to start with the third finger, and for that I need the whiteboard. So unlike all of our other scales, we're not starting with D this time, we're starting with C. So we're going to do the same comparison thing here that we did for the naturals and the melodics, right? So we start off with having them tell me what the minor scale is with all of its externals and everything. Then we're going to go into what changes. So I tell them, identify the 7th scale degree. Ta-da, B flat. Now raise it by a half step. What do you got? B natural. And we'll point out that once again, now that gives us a half step between those two, which gives us a leading tone again. And if I didn't cover that with the melodic already, I'll really emphasize that here. And that's why we have these different forms, to give us the leading tone again, to give us a strong sense of key. Now, if you've done the melodics first, you can cover the fact that it's the same up and down, just like the naturals were. So they don't have to worry about that. What they do have to worry about is the augmented second that's going on here. And for that, they're going to need a different set of finger patterns. The extension finger patterns from Fingerboard Geography, as a matter of fact. So the third finger scales are the only ones that aren't going to need one of those extension patterns, but because of that, they are going to need 3 different colors, right? So we start off here, have them think of it as green. By this point, they should be used to the idea of what strings are what in the key, right? So because it's going to be a green in the key of C minor, have them think of it as green. Then we have our D string, where they should quickly get to the fact that this is yellow. And then for the A string, again, 4th finger, so we're not going to put that one in our low bracket. We have a nice blue pattern. Nice and easy. Now again, at this point, they're probably thinking in scale degrees fairly easily. So just thinking of natural and then raise the 7th might be better for them. But having the finger patterns as an underlying base foundation is very good to do. So now that you've covered that and we've gotten rid of the whiteboard, we can talk about playing. So here we are, C harmonic minor. Nice and simple. Hop up to G. Don't know what I did with the rhythm there, but whatever. And now we're going to move on to the open strings. So for the open strings, they're going to need the purple pattern, which has the extension between 1 and 2. Sounds like this. Ta-da! So they should get that the open string harmonic minors are going to be blue and purple from your whole examination process. And here's D minor. Ta-da! Hop up to A. And then down to G. 2-octave G. Not gonna lie to you, that took an embarrassing amount of takes to play it right tonight. My brain is not working anymore. For the first fingers, they've got to do the extension between 2 and 3, meaning the gold pattern from Fingerboard Geography. So again, starting with E. Over to B. If you want to, at this point, you can probably skip and have them just play the 2 octave rather than playing 1 octave at a time. But I think it's good to have them do 1 octave at a time at least once. But I'm just going to do the 2 octave right now because reasons. Ta-da! And then bringing up the rear, we're going to have the second finger scales. Now here you can have the same 4 to 1, 1 to 1, 1, 2 thing on the top string that we talked about in the melodic video, which is another reason you need to go back and watch that. And again, whichever fingering, have them play it all. Whichever one worked for the melodic is probably going to be the best one for them to do here, but not necessarily. So the patterns here are going to be yellow and choral, as Barbara calls it in Fingerboard Geography. So starting with F sharp. And now down to B, and if we're going to do the 2 octave, which I'm going to do again because reasons, they should definitely do 4th finger instead of a 1-1 situation or a 1-2 situation. Definitely instead of the 1-2, because then you're going to be all sorts of screwy, fingering wise. I went too high on the A sharp on the way down. It's viola hands. And again, long day. My neighbors hate me. I'm not doing it again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do as I say, not as I do. So now they can play all of the primary minor scales. That's it. Stay on those. Start having them play all 3 forms of each key, just to get used to doing that, because that is how you're going to teach the secondary minors, which we're going to talk about in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all of the things so that you don't miss that video. It's going to be the final one in the scale series, and then we have to figure out what we're doing next. I've got ideas. We'll be fine. You and me. We'll be fine. We'll be cool. Happy scaling. Follow me on all the things. That KJ Bell. And then we insert the whiteboard chunk here and ta-da. And then 2 octave G. I can't play it right tonight to save my life. Okay,